microphones to whisper in your ear tales of bone-chilling horror and endless despair. You are listening to Mad Tower Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 38 of Mad Tower Radio. We're sorry we've been gone, I just want to start off saying that. It's been a rough week. Elden Ring came out. No sense beating around the bush about it.
Yeah.
But I've also been really busy. I'm getting ready to quit my current job and getting ready to move and blah 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 blah. And it's very, very soon we'll be able to lift the veil and should tell you all the secrets. Okay. But Ryan, Christian, how have you been?
It's been alright, man. It's been a little cold over here.
God damn it. You can't keep fucking getting away with this, talking about the weather at the beginning of every episode. That being said, we did get snow today. Oh.
Yeah. In the green room, Christian was like, "Can we not start the episode with a 2-minute discussion about the weather?"
Oh.
I was like, "Why not, dude? People like the weather."
They do. That's our thing. I got a couple of T-shirts made that said Ryan Weatherman. It's like my face with a cloud.
Oh my god, this isn't Welcome to Night Vale. They don't do the weather segment.
You're right, dude. It's Mad Tower Radio. We talk about the real weather because we only talk about real things.
Exactly, dude. Like clouds, not real. Those are all what are they called? The altitude beast that you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's an Elden Ring boss up there.
I knew it.
But yeah, we've all been busy playing Elden Ring, getting ready to move on to greener pastures and blah 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 blah. So we missed a week. Sue us, all right? What the fuck do you want from us? Okay. If you want a consistent episode every week, all right, subscribe and share this to your friends so that we can do it full time. Oh, crazy!
If I could quit my job, yeah, you'll get one every week.
Yeah, you make it some in between too.
You can get them twice a week.
Shit.
If this is a job, bro, no shot. But anyways, moving it right along. If you've never listened to an episode of Mad Tower Radio before, I promise we just don't talk about Elden Ring and the weather. We talk about cryptids, conspiracies, ghouls, strange history, strange real-life occurrences, not true crime because true crime is boring and overdone, but we talk about weird things on this show. And I'm going to go first today.
Ooh.
And I'm coming at you with a little bit of weird history.
Okay.
Do you guys know what a homunculus is?
Yes. It's like a fake. It's like a not manufactured, but it's like a creature that is made not from normal means, right? It's like humans make it with like alchemy.
Beast.
Yeah. So it's it was this weird phenomena, and I thought this was gonna be like way earlier, but they were playing around with homunculi in the fucking 1500s, bro.
Oh sure.
Like, that's pretty fucking recent, all things considered,
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we'd be like moved on from this shit by then, but no. For those of you that don't know, a homunculus is pretty much what Ryan was saying. It's like creating life without like conception, I guess.
Like Jesus Christ.
Not like Jesus Christ, but in the sense of like no human conception or like magical conception was needed to make this thing. And I don't know why, but the homunculi always turn out to be like small. They're like a foot tall or less.
Well, yeah, man, like test tube babies.
Yeah, they're like little freaks.
Yeah. And the homunculi were first mentioned by the name homunculus, by a Swiss physician, theologian, and philosopher, and alchemist, and his name was Paracelsus. And dude was a little fucking whack job, man.
Yeah, I just finished his quest line, actually.
Yeah. So I wanted to do a couple recipes that I found for homunculi, because they are all fucking wild. Right? And it's weird too. Like, it's weird. I was trying to look more into the science, and it came from this old school of thought called, like, oh god, it started with a P. It was like it was like Creationism or something like that. I don't know, but it was like this old school thought that, like, they didn't know what DNA was, and they thought that fucking beings, animals, humans were made from a miniature version of themselves that was already perfected. So essentially these dudes thought that, like, sperm cells had a little tiny human inside them that was, like, flying that thing around like an X-wing into the egg, and that's what, like, eventually turned into a human child.
Like a shrinky dink, or like
a tiny little Lego man was piloting the sperm cell,
who then grows
and, like,
to be a full man.
Yeah. And that dude knew all the in and outs, all the inner workings that needed to happen when he got to the egg to, like, become a human. I don't fucking know, man. It's, like, weird. Here's like a little fucking illustration of what they thought it looked like.
My man.
Oh, well.
Do you know what that looks like? Have you seen, like, that enemy in, like, One Punch Man? That looks like an enemy in One Punch Man.
I don't fucking know, bro, but it's wacky.
Okay. Well, you said it was a Swiss philosopher, physician, and, like, scientist and alchemist. Those were all the same thing then anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah. But so operating on this school of thought, they were like, well, if there's just a little man in my sperm, you know,
I've got a whole fleet stored in my balls. What's going on?
Yeah, like, can I do this without needing a woman, right?
A Swiss incel.
Yes. Homunculus creators and alchemists, man. Incels, actually. So check it out. Check out this recipe, right? This is from Paracelsus's own fucking works. He says, the sperm of a man be putrefied by itself in a sealed cucurbit for 40 days with the highest degree of putrefaction in a horse's womb, or at least so long that it comes to life and moves itself and stirs, which is easily observed. After this time, it will look somewhat like a man, but transparent without a body. If, after this, it be fed wisely with the arcanum of human blood, and be nourished for up to 40 weeks, and be kept in the even heat of the horse's womb, a living human child grows therefrom, with all its members like another child, which is born of a woman, but much smaller.
So he's already telling me how to grow manlets, is essentially what he's...
What the fuck does putrefied mean?
I think he means, like, ferment.
Oh,
God, bro, that's disgusting.
Like, you're, like, fermenting your cum in a jar for a bit, and then stick it in a horse's womb, and that is what
make.
And then add, like, some human blood to it. It'll make the little man.
All of them have to do with, like, you gotta feed it blood.
Well, exactly.
Well, how else would they get blood?
Where does blood come from? Your bones? Shut up, witch.
Bro. I don't know. It's so fucking weird. There's more. Here's another one. I don't know who these are from. They're all from, like, ancient fucking Euro philosophers. Whatever, man. You get the gist of it.
Of course.
I'm not here to give you sources. I'm here to tell you funny things. Alright? So this recipe consisted of a bag of bones, sperm, skin fragments, and hair from any animal you wanted it to be a hybrid of. This was to be laid in the ground surrounded by horse manure for 40 days, at which point the embryo would form.
That's it?
That one's pretty simple.
I could do that.
That one's easy.
Yeah. Some fucking
Anyone
bones.
can
What
do
type of
that.
bones? Like, wait, was it animal bones or were those human bones?
Whichever one you want.
It didn't specify the bones, just a bag of bones.
That's how they made Animal Crossing characters. That's what, like, that's really what it is.
Dude, they're all homunculi, bro.
I knew it. That's why everyone's so weird on that island, so friendly.
Oh yeah, man. Moving on to the next one, right? Here we go. Another method of creating homunculi was written of in the medieval text called the Liber Vitae. or Book of Cows. And in this case, the arcane recipe calls for using an actual cow as a sort of surrogate mother for the homunculi. Again, semen is key, and it is to be mixed with a sunstone before artificially inseminating the cow with it, and then the vagina be plugged up with stone, after which the animal is only to be fed the blood of another animal and kept completely out of sunlight. Not even a single ray is to hit the animal at this point, or it will undo the spell. Full disclaimer, I only read like 4 of these before I started just slapping them into my notes. So some of them have not been like scanned.
Giving us like raw, unvetted insanity right now.
Yes.
Okay.
My insight's not high enough to process this.
Yeah. So that one gets better. Check this out.
I don't think so.
The cow will become pregnant and give birth to a shapeless, writhing mass, which is to be placed within a mixture of ground sunstone, sulfur, magnet, green tusia, and the sap of a white willow in a large lead or glass bowl. The amorphous blob should then begin to take on a humanoid shape and congeal into a recognizable form, which is then to be kept in the lead container for several days and fed a diet of human blood. If you are successful, this newborn homunculi will also have access to a wide range of abilities.
Come on.
Now this dude gives the spell list for the homunculi, right?
Oh shit!
His stat block. Okay.
Yeah, here it is. If the homunculus is placed on a white cloth with a mirror in its hands and suffumigated with a mixture of human blood and other ingredients, the moon will appear to be full on the last day of the month. I don't know.
He's got
maybe
lunar powers.
That's
that's
Rana.
I don't know. Maybe if you're just setting up more spells from your pick-a-tricks, like, okay, I need the moon full on the last month, bro. Or on the last of the month.
That's nice. You have your little homunculus son help you cast moon spells.
Or is it like the illusion of the phases of the moon being shifted, or is this dude like astrologically like bending the universe?
I don't know. If the homunculus is decapitated and its blood is given to a man to drink, the man will assume the form of a bovine or a sheep.
No.
But if he is anointed with it, he will have the form of an ape. So, if you drink your homunculus's blood, you'll get, you can shapeshift. Pretty cool.
I mean, it's like a return on the investment of all that blood that you fed him, right? You need something back.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's the last power, and this one's a little fucking wild. Right? If the homunculus is fed for 40 days in a dark house on a diet of blood and milk, and then its guts are extracted from its belly and rubbed onto someone's hands and feet, he may walk on water or travel around the world in the blink of an eye.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Oh, sorry, there's one more power. If the homunculus is kept alive for a year, then placed in a bath of milk and rainwater, it will tell things that happen far away.
Nice.
What's that shit called? Prestigitation?
He's like,
or scrying?
I don't know, scrying.
That's it.
yeah, it's like scrying. It's like, hey, there's someone out there peeing in the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's 15:05. I can see him with my homunculus eye.
I got 2 more.
Cool.
Well, one more recipe and then another account of a homunculus. There's yet another recipe, written by a professor of Gießen University in Germany by the name of Dr. David Creationist in the 18th century. The process involved an egg that was to be obtained from a black hen, after which it was to be infused with a small amount of human semen through a hole, then sealed with a piece of the hymen of a virgin, and then buried during the March lunar cycle. If all is done perfectly, then a homunculus is said to break out of the egg and dig its way out to find its new master, who is supposed to feed it earthworms and lavender seeds. Yeah.
I don't like any of that.
It's not just like, oh yeah, plant this thing and it'll become a little man.
It's hard
like,
work.
Yeah. It is hard work.
Does the homunculus tradition come from like the Jewish golem type thing?
It says it has its roots in golems,
Sure.
but I can't really speak too much of it because I don't know about golems.
You never got
What do you
through
know about golems?
Full Metal Alchemist, did you?
I never started Full Metal Alchemist.
It's all about homunculus.
I was trying to find pictures of homunculi for the video, and
Ooh,
I
look
just
up
kept getting
Lost.
fucking anime.
Bunch of fucking anime dudes. Okay.
I was like, God damn it.
Oh.
So
there it is. It just got linked to the classic homunculus
yes,
video.
I love these stupid little videos of dudes being like, I made a homunculus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
Those are my
Russian, and this guy just has like a bunch of like kitchen ingredients in a fucking like little paper cup.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I like
fucking
this
awesome.
picture you posted here. That dude's like, "Hey, pops, get me out of the jar."
This dude's happy about it. In fact, well, I would be pretty happy about it too
Made life.
if I went through all that work and it actually worked. You know?
No.
If I fucking artificially inseminated a goddamn cow and waited like 10 years or something and fucking fed the fucking cow other animals' blood and it didn't like fall over dead in 2 days, yeah, I'd be pretty fucking pogged when my homunculus finally got here.
Like,
You know?
my perception of homunculus has been warped by years of Magic the Gathering, because they're just like those little Mike Wazowski looking pricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, in this fucking old ass art, they're definitely like just, they look like cherubs, like just tiny
Little dudes.
men,
Yeah.
you know? But I don't know where we went wrong that they're like these disgusting fucking creatures, right?
Little disgusting creature.
Now, check out this last little fucking thing I found about homunculuses, or homunculi, and I was trying to research more about this, but I really just couldn't find anything, and I didn't have time to just go down the rabbit hole. But in 1775, as recent as 1775, Count Johann Ferdinand von Kufstein, together with Abbe Galone, an Italian cleric, is reputed to have created 10 homunculi with the ability to foresee the future, which von Kufstein kept in glass containers at his Masonic lodge in Vienna.
Jeez.
So, yeah. This guy was doing work with his homunculi, bro.
Did he release them? Like, what came of these beasts?
I don't know.
He's got a damn platoon of them.
I don't know. It sounds like fucking Yosefka's clinic, bro.
I was just thinking that.
That's what it is up in there. Little blue dudes in a fucking container.
Oh, the living failures. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I was trying to find a single unified, like, theory, I guess. Not theory, but like, what was the point of creating a homunculus, you know?
I mean, they had nothing to do back then.
Little friend.
I guess. Maybe like a little lab assistant?
Yeah, like help clean up the house and shit like that.
I don't know. I mean, the only like use I saw out of it was this one with a fucking spell list who can like manipulate the lunar cycle or some shit. But like, that's a lot of fucking work to get this thing born. Like, first you have to have a cow, which that was a lot of money back in the day,
Yeah.
you know. And if you fuck it up, your cow's dying. So that's like a really, really, really big investment.
It kind of feels like it's almost like that's like a rich man's game, that alchemic stuff back then, because you had to have all this money for those things, like you're saying. Like, you have to have enough money to buy a cow, like a throwaway
Exactly,
cow.
man. The only guy with like a successful fucking, not successful, but the only dude with any like story about it, he was a count
Yeah.
with like the assistance of the fucking Italian clergy, bro.
If you don't have to spend every day of your life performing backbreaking agricultural labor, like, you got to spend something. Like, your day's got to be spent doing wizardry.
Exactly. It's like,
I guess, man. Christian, when you were reading Picatrix, did it say anything about homunculi?
You know, I was just looking that up. I feel like there's something in, like, Middle Age Islamic mysticism that had something to say about, like life creation and homunculus stuff, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. There wasn't a lot in the Picatrix per se about creating an avatar or a homunculus or anything like that, but there's something in the back of my brain that like
interestingly enough, it talks about how there's a lot, like there's this, not the word homunculi, but there's like this similar idea in like other cultures, you know. So in Islamic alchemy there was this thing called takwin, and it was the goal of like Muslim alchemists to like create false life in a laboratory, right?
Did it work?
Oh, I don't know, bro. The hell? Maybe. I hope so.
Tell me more.
I don't know.
So it's weird, man. Like this stuff was around back then.
Oh,
like
surely.
they were talking about it in the Bible, you know. So it's fucking crazy, but I can't find a purpose, you know. Nobody gets that far along in the fucking thing. Probably because it never worked, so people weren't really doing much with their goddamn
Creations?
with their homunculi.
Well, yeah,
Because even if it did work, it sounded like the thing just keeled over and died in like 4 days or something.
that, or you get just like a disgusting rotten mass of like blood and flesh, and it's horrible.
Just like a gore pile. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll like discourage you. You're like, well, that didn't work. Kind of
Bro,
stinks
if
too.
that was me and like it failed, you know, like I fucking did all this horrible shit to my fucking cow, like my one money making object in life, you know, and this failed and my cow just keeled over, died with like fucking shitloads of alchemical ingredients just pouring out of it, I would like be ashamed, man. I would be like, and I never should have fucking bought this Picatrix, bro. Now my cow's dead.
No, my cow's infected and it's got a man's head.
Yeah. Never
Like
should have
some-
fucking bought this Picatrix.
Oh,
It's like some guts berserk enemy.
I found this story of the 10 homunculi that were grown by Johann. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Check it out. So I'm going to read you this little
Educate.
short story. It says, no two homunculi looked the same, and to each was affixed an identity. 8 were physical mannequins, known as the king, the queen, the knight, monk, nun, seraph and miner, and architect. And clothes pertinent to their identities were made for them.
No.
Each of these was fed special rose water tablets every 3 to 4 days, and their water was changed once a week. On one occasion, the king homunculus escaped from his jar and was earnestly trying to remove the seal on the jar holding the queen when the Count's butler chased him, and he fainted from exposure to the air and was put back into his little jar. The remaining 2 non-humanoid homunculi were non-corporeal and would only appear when he tapped on their jars chanting magical words. A face would then materialize over the jar in liquid and turn blue.
No.
2 spirit homunculi had a horrible expression on their face and was fed a thimbleful of animal blood once a week. All 10 homunculi would answer questions concerning future events and predict correctly their outcomes. There you go.
That's so fucking dumb.
That was way cooler. They're like little gremlins.
Yeah, man. This sounds like fucking the medieval version of like sea monkeys or some shit.
He knitted them little clothes
The little knight armor.
according to their class.
These were just little pets before little pets were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we could have just given these guys hamsters and they wouldn't have done all this fucked up shit to
This
innocent animals.
horrifying science.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome.
That's
crazy.
That was good fun. I didn't expect so much horror to come out of the homunculi theory.
Oh yeah, dude. Homunculi are fucking. It's cool, and you know, to cap it off, homunculi inspired a lot of like conceptually. Homunculi inspired a lot of fiction, like Frankenstein.
Oh,
That's it.
I mean, you now that you mention it, I feel that.
No, I mean there's more stuff, but it's like just stuff that I haven't heard of, you know. But like it's been like a lot of people talk about it in what is it? They say being John Malkovich was inspired by homunculi.
No way.
Well, good thing I've never seen that film.
I've also never seen that film. I don't know what it's about.
It's about someone like entering John Malkovich's ear
I
and
imagine it's
controlling
about
him.
John Malkovich.
No, it's literally about someone entering like his ear and controlling him like a Gundam.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Bro, that's the homunculi.
I mean, yeah, they have the little sperm pilots, so it only makes sense.
Dude, the sperm pilots are the funniest fucking thing, dude. Look at them. They're like covering up their little wieners.
They're gonna be like homunculus theory inspired Osmosis Jones.
It's true. It's true.
Fucking Osmosis
Yeah,
Jones.
so we're actually all gonna try one of these this weekend. Who owns a cow? Who's gonna do that one?
I don't produce enough blood, I think, to feed this creature.
I don't produce enough money to purchase a cow, so
We can all just try. The cheapest one looks like bag of bones, sperm, skin fragments, and hair, and horse manure. Like, that one's pretty easy. I don't know about the one where, like, you fucking store it in a horse's womb and then, like, check on it. How are you gonna check?
You gotta
I
get
know,
the
right?
telescope
Dead
into the
horse.
horse pussy. It's that simple. What?
Oh, I hate that.
I mean, it's right there in the
Very
instructions.
weird. You know, there were dudes out there that read these and they were like, their wife caught him out in the barn, and this dude's like just going to town on the cow. And he's
What?
like, honey, no, I'm trying to make I'm making a homunculus, please. Please.
Please, Black.
Babe, no.
I hate that.
And then that guy was crucified by the tree.
that guy was crucified for being a
Sideways.
witch.
Rightfully so, they bled him.
And from his body sprouted a homunculus.
It worked, bro. But yeah, weird science, dude. Humans are fucking dumb back in the day, dude.
Oh yeah,
And bored.
And bored, man. Playing with their sea monkeys, you know? Little bunch of freaks in a jar that can see the future.
My little future sight freakers I keep in the jar. I feed them 3 tablets of blood.
No, it was a thimble of blood. It was 3 tablets of rose water.
Fuck.
You're fucking up the spell, Christian. You're not going to get a homunculus.
He's gonna
You're
give
gonna
me
get, like, some-
false readings.
A pile of
Yeah,
gore that tells you the
Yeah.
future. You're gonna fucking die,
Yeah,
kid.
like a little like packet of shredded beef I keep in like a box under my bed, and he
It's
just
going to start pulsing.
exactly, and he'll tell me things.
Oh, apparently homunculi would also, like, run away.
Oh sure,
Or, like, would, like, try to, like, they, like, wanted to kill stuff.
I would
Because they
too.
wanted to have a soul. Or something. I don't fucking know.
Or something.
It kind of gets into the weeds about, like, what the homunculus wants.
Like a,
But there's...
To be born normally.
Yeah.
a demented, soulless creature. It never wanted to be here. It's just like a flesh pillar.
Yeah, it's,
Hell yeah, the flesh pillar.
it's false life, bro. But yeah, I mean, that's my little section on homunculi. I'm ready to move on from this. It's kind of gross.
It's kind of
gross,
fucking
kind of
gross.
sweaty.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that one.
I don't know how I feel about what I've just done.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? What do you got for me today?
Nothing.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing this, man. I thought I was prepared for Smasher Pass for cryptids. No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I got something.
Little
No, I got.
teaser trailer? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. We're making some more videos. Me and Ryan are going to do, Markiplier. And he did the Smasher Pass.
You'll know
Well, we're gonna do the
Markiplier.
same thing with cryptids.
Cryptids and ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do. What's the other one we're gonna do? Fight or flight. That one's gonna be exciting.
That was my
Christian was like,
compromise.
Christian said, I'm not gonna get in front of camera and talk about what cryptids I want to fuck. And we were like, well, we'll do it without you.
Yeah. We'll just,
And then
okay.
then we were like, well, Christian was like, why don't we do like cryptids fight or flight? And I'm like, okay, well, we'll do both. So
podcast.
We already kind of
It's a give or take, give and take.
We already kind of touched on the fight or flight and the goat man. I was like, I'll beat the shit out of the goat man.
Exactly. So if you liked that segment, it's just going to be an evolved version of that.
And you could see our faces. We're gonna come in cosplay for our favorite cryptids.
Exactly, dude.
I'm gonna come in covered in a bunch of ground beef, and I'm gonna be a
homunculus. I'm just a wet jar.
Oh no!
I'm the failed homunculus cow. I have a stone in my vagina.
Go fucking rock coke in me bum. I'm a homunculus cow.
Don't cut that out, Christian. You better not.
Nope. I wouldn't.
This episode is X-rated.
Heck yeah. Gonna get copyright struck or fucking TOS struck.
Yeah, DMCA'd.
Yeah.
Okay,
we just mentioned homunculus
and Funimation. No more homunculus talk. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get out of ancient Europe. Okay, so I actually do this fucking rutabaga that you posted. So I'm getting back into reading some H.P. Lovecraft. He is one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author of all things science fiction. Some call him the grandfather of sci-fi horror. I just call him H.P. Lovecraft because the other one's too long. So, when I found out that we were doing it like a regular episode today, I was scrambling. So I started looking for some topics, and I had the iconic Call of Cthulhu open, and on another tab I had At the Mountains of Madness. So and that got me thinking, what are some cryptids or creatures or things like that? Has anything like that ever been encountered here by us mortals? These sci-fi, fake stories, these works of fiction, air quote. There's stories of creatures being seen by expedition teams, or sailors see something like in Dagon. Well, I wanted to see if we actually had any encounters like that. So I don't know if you all remember, but back when I was talking about the UFO, the meteor that was shot down over Russia. Mm-hmm. I'd mentioned Lake Vostok. Now, yes. What exactly Lake Vostok is, it is the largest of Antarctica's subglacial lake. So there's essentially 2 miles of glacier above a lake.
What?
Yeah. So it's literally there's the ice shelf that we walk on. There's a lake 2 miles below that.
Okay.
That has never been touched before.
Hate that.
Exactly. Some scientists believe that the environment there is similar to the environments you would find on the ice lakes of Jupiter's moons and stuff like that. That's what they think it's like down there. So, being in Russia and them not caring about anything or anyone, they said there is. So essentially, I love this because it sounds so fake, but if it's true, nuts to you, McGillicuddy. That's a really cool story. But there is a story apparently that there's a research station there, the Vostok Research Station. That's what they named the lake after. And apparently there had been a Russian scientist who had defected to the United States, and he was kind of airing out Putin's dirty laundry in terms of what goes on in this lake. So what he said happened is, on the official reports, there was not an expedition done there, but essentially what had happened was they were taking some ice samples, where they core down, and they just pull up a cylinder of ice and sediment from way down there just to kind of analyze what it's like. So that's what they had said had been done there. And so what this scientist says, something else happened, and essentially what he said happened to us is that they bored out a giant elevator all the way to the bottom, to the actual lake.
I like where this is going.
Exactly. So I immediately was like, Mountains of Madness. I'm getting hot and bothered. It's getting sweaty in the room as I'm reading this. And so he says that they go down there as a team, a scientific team, in some type of high-tech diving gear. at the time, and this was all like black ops. No one could know about it. As what he was saying is essentially what they were going to tell the public was that we found some nice samples down there. Well, that was hard to explain why a bunch of the scientists went missing during its sample retrieval.
Ooh.
So apparently they go down there, and they apparently, according to this defector, his name was Dr. Anton Padalka.
Oh, okay.
They encountered something called what they call Organism 46B. A 33-foot, 14-tentacled squid-like organism that lived in this subterranean lake. It could release a toxin that would paralyze you in the water, where it would then rip you apart.
Spread.
I know. Oh no! Do they have I immediately was like, "This is an SCP. An SCP is broken loose, and now it's just running around in the wild of the internet. And people are saying it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this has been around for a while. Exactly. I immediately thought SCP. This is something like an SCP would do, but it's not on the SCP website. This is something totally different. And so essentially, they kept going down. He was part of the first dive team that went down there, and he says his lifelong friend was killed by the creature, and they went back up. And they went back down to go get more information on this creature. And what had happened was they went down there and said, the water's murky. They thought that they could see in the distance, another scuba diver coming towards them.
No.
And like, oh my gosh, did someone else come down here? And one of the divers kind of like broke formation and went out to go see him. And yes, that's right. The thing can shapeshift. And it turned into the creature and ripped the guy's head off. So not only can it paralyze you, but it can also shapeshift.
Who told this story? If he got
This
his
is
head
what the
ripped
fucking.
off?
This is the scientist. He's seeing his friend just get murked front, like left, right, front, center.
Okay.
So, also it has been from one of the other people that it had supposedly killed. It somehow used like a pheromone to hypnotize them because the guy pulled his rebreather out and smiled and flew and swam towards it, and then it ate him.
Yo.
One of the other people with them cut off one of the tentacles when it attacked them as they were trying to go back up the elevator. They got the tentacle back up to the base camp, and it came back to life and strangled her.
This sounds like The Thing.
Kind of, right? Like the thing was inspired by at the Mountains of Madness, like this creature that's down there, and of course it's in Russia. And I almost didn't bring this. I was like, this is just so wacky that it just sounds fake. But that's what this is all about, because apparently there was sightings of it. There's like apparently somewhere in the Kremlin that there's documents of it. Not only that,
They got him in the Kremlin.
Exactly. They were,
according to this, Ukraine.
According to this person, they were able to sedate the creature and take it out of the lake and bring it to Moscow, where he claims that Vladimir Putin is looking to weaponize Organism 46B and use its pheromone in warfare.
No, are you telling me a joke right now?
Nope, not according to Dr. Padalka, whatever his name is.
That last part wasn't a joke about weaponizing its pheromones.
Exactly. See, that's all. It's all coming full circle right now.
They're gonna
Lord.
pump the Lenin body with the alien goo and work him like a Evangelion unit.
Just make a homunculus, bro.
Exactly. I'm saying an army of homunculuses that can spray out the pheromone that makes you happy. So that being said, no one has been able to contact this doctor, apparently because he's in hiding from Russia. A big thing too is that he holds that they were digging for core samples. Well, when you're digging for a core sample, that's literally like a small cylinder. So that core sample is not the same as giant, fashioning a giant elevator into the ice sheet and descending
AVP tunneling hole.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's not coring. So, I mean, at the end of the day, is it probably fake? No, but it's a fun story nonetheless. So I was reading that and I was like, this is so Lovecraftian, like you were saying, Christian. It very much reminds people of like At the Mountains of Madness or The Thing, especially when good old Organism 46B broke out the shape-shifting on these guys. They weren't ready for it, but it just ticked all the boxes of a creature that I was, or like of a story that I was really feeling coming hot off the heels of some H.P. Lovecraft.
The story also really reminds me of it's Adrian Tchaikovsky's Children of Ruin. It's a sci-fi book, and like this astronaut lands on this planet, and like a turtle stabs him through his suit, and it
Man.
Huh?
it's because it has like bacteria in it or something, like a shape-shifting like entity inside of the turtle. And then it gets into the astronaut's bloodstream and like works him like a puppet, and it sounded a lot like this thing that was attacking the scuba divers. Like it would pretend to be a human and then just start ripping people apart.
See, I think we've got something here, guys.
There's something going on.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? Like I just was like, this is so bonky wonkies. Bring it to me.
That was
this
good.
Is exactly
That's
what
fun.
I want to talk about. Yeah, it's like good fun. It's like this is like. Probably not real, but that's the stuff that people come here to listen to,
I mean, who are we gonna believe? This defector?
This defector to the motherland?
Yeah.
About I keep wanting to say Organization 13, but that's not what it is. We've got Zemnis down there in Lake Vostok.
Underneath. Is that a picture of this thing I'm looking at right now?
Yeah, that's apparently what it looks like.
That's a bloodborne enemy.
That does look like a bloodborne. It's like a fucking amygdala.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, so that's mine. That's
Wow.
that's my crazy cryptid.
That's Squidward.
That's my crazy cryptid.
What the fuck is this? So it looks like it's my turn, yeah?
Yeah, close us out.
Okay. Well, once again, I was in my quest to review and analyze, like, all around the globe cryptids. Like, I'm pushing it back as long and hard as I can to not talk about, like, the Jersey Devil or the fucking Bigfoot. Like, I want to keep the North American common boys off this show until I'm desperate.
Yeah, good luck. That's why I'm talking about fucking homunculi.
So in that search, I came across a creature that a couple people might know. I think it was on like a Monster Quest or one of those like early 2010s Discovery shows. Today for you, I have the Ropen, the Demon Flyer.
Ooh.
Have either of you heard this creature or watched the Monster Quest episode?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, it's coming to us from the islands of Papua New Guinea and is popularly depicted as like a flying, featherless, sort of pterodactyl-like creature.
Yeah.
And its main sort of unique feature is its long tail that is glowing, like there's a bioluminescence to the end of it.
Can you spell it for me?
Ropen. And I think it's pronounced Ropen. I just kind of went crazy with it.
Well, this shit looks like a pterodactyl.
Yeah, it's just a pterodactyl in the jungle. It's described as a piscivore. It uses its little tail to lure fish up to the surface of the ocean, and then it snatches them up and eats them.
So this is like one of them actual cryptids where it's like just a pretty normal animal, but no one's ever seen it before.
Well, it's, a combination of, is it a survived dinosaur and this sort of
Right.
folklore, like it's got lights on its tail. So
No, I mean, I like that stuff. I like that stuff.
it's got kind of an evolution to it. And
And people are saying it's a paraglider.
you mean like a dude with like wings on his back, like the Batman?
Yeah.
Nah, no, it ain't like that.
It's a dude gliding.
So, the reason that I found this creature particularly interesting is the sort of, like, philosophical debate that has been sort of bred on this creature's investigations, and it's become like this ideological war.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sort of lay the groundwork for y'all first. There are two camps when it comes to the study of the Ropen.
Okay.
There are the evolutionists and the creationists.
The age-old battle.
Exactly. So first up, in the evolutionist camp, we have the entomologist and famous British scientist Evelyn Cheeseman.
Okay.
She is a early 1900s, like I said, entomologist. So it's a professor of bugs.
That's who I'm gonna trust on the pterodactyl cryptid.
Well, she was doing expeditions in the South Pacific and in the surrounding areas, and over the course of like cataloging and identifying all these bugs, she began to hear the local myths of the Ropen and this sort of creature that was like lighting up the night and sometimes, scaring people as it was coming on by. Mm-hmm. And she spent some of her time and some of her, educated energies to sort of investigate this creature. And she was firmly dismissing of any kind of human answer to the glowing lights and the Ropen creature. She said it's not going to be any kind of aeroplane or flying creature or flying machine, I should say. And that she quoted to have seen the lights out in the distance. So we've got her on one side.
Okay. Saying it's real?
Yeah, very, very in the it's real camp. And it's a creature that was either like an evolved pterodactyl or a misidentified giant fruit bat.
Yeah, that's coming up a lot in what I'm searching.
Yeah,
they're saying it's a bat now.
Have you seen how big some of these like fruit bats get?
Oh, they huge.
Massive.
Dog.
They're massive creatures.
Exactly. So like one of the main components of this story is shut up, it's a bat.
Okay. Fair.
Shut up, it's a bat.
But the more interesting and more cracked side, I should say, is the creationist camp. Now, do you know what a creationist is?
Yes.
Can you give me a little 1-2 for the boys at home?
I mean, creationist is pretty broad, but in a general sense, it's like everything was created. I guess,
like
most
a higher
commonly
power.
It's associated with religion.
Exactly. The people who subscribe to a manufactured reality, or be it some deity or some divine sort of touch, for the most part. And between the years of 1994 and 2004, so way after Evelyn, like 100 years or so,
Right.
these cryptozoologist creationists led a tour to Papua New Guinea to try and find proof of the Ropen.
Okay.
Because they believed that the Ropen lights and this specific creature was a beast described in the Bible and was the perfect proof for creationist philosophy.
What beast in the Bible?
So I'm going to give you the text right now.
Okay.
This is from Isaiah. The burden of the beasts of the south into the land of trouble and anguish, from which came the young and old lion, and the viper, and the fiery flying serpent. They use the interpretation of this verse to say that the Ropen is the fiery flying serpent mentioned in Isaiah, and that if they can prove that this thing exists, they can prove that, creationism is true.
Weird flex.
It also goes into sort of the root word of like seraph and seraphim, like the angelic beast. It was originally a more like a fiery snake sort of connotation.
Really?
And that, like if you looked up in the sky and you saw one of those like 6-winged angels flying, it could kind of look like a pterodactyl with its wings spread out and like the back wing sort of creating the long like unfurling.
That's interesting.
And then Isaiah continues and says, "Rejoice not thou, whole Palestinia, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruits will be the fiery, flying serpents." And that is in reference to, I believe, a pagan entity who was more associated with the serpent and the flying creatures that they're using reference to.
I see.
So these dudes, I can give you their names. They are Carl Bow, Paul Nation, Jonathan Whitecomb, Garth Gessman, and David Woltzel.
Garth Gessman. What a name.
They went over to Papua New Guinea and they were like, by God, we want to find these dudes. We want to find these creatures to prove our point. And they were reporting these sightings of these featherless, long-tailed pterodactyls, and they sounded exactly like this specific kind of pterosaur whose name is far too long for me to pronounce correctly, but the main characteristic of them was this long, like diamondy rhombus tail on the back. And they said, that's it. That's the creature we're looking for, boys. Tag it and bag it, like the Bible said it.
That's him. That's a Bible beast. Get him. That's so funny. There's so many. The Bible mentions so many wacky creatures.
Oh yeah. Way back then, they didn't know how to describe things.
It's like it was breathing fire.
They were like the beast with 1 and 4 arms. What does that mean, dude?
It's like any like quadruped land mammal. Like
just say 4 arms, you fucking demon. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, nobody knew how to draw either, so like everything is so left up to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get all this wacky shit. It's pretty funny when you talk about old stuff.
No.
Like even in the fucking what is it? You were talking about homunculi earlier. He just says, "Yeah, it'll be a small man." Like, how small, bro?
Small man.
What about like the proportions? Small. Like, is he gonna have little feet and knees, or
is he gonna be all chest and legs?
Exactly. Is he gonna be chest no leg?
He's gonna be Mike Wazowski.
I knew it.
I didn't know the cockatrice was mentioned in the Bible, though.
Oh, they got dragons, they got cockatrice, they got hydras, and
bro.
Yeah, they go crazy on that one.
It's funny, man, because the cockatrice is like some D tier enemy you fight in Final Fantasy. Like,
Oh yeah,
fat. It's like plump chicken.
It's kind of just like fat chicken, yeah. But his baby is the Ropen, the flying serpent.
That's cute.
And the whole sort of basis on this theory is that fiery can sort of be nudged into mean bioluminescent or glowing or like light.
Right.
Like, you think that little sort of nudge in language is acceptable in this instance?
I think so, because what produced any like there was nothing there that would produce light other than fire back then.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bible scholars, but isn't Isaiah like talking about like Egypt and Palestinia, like not, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea?
That was in Pangaea. They were right next to each other,
Yeah.
Does the Bible take place in Pangaea? Did I forget that part?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, you didn't read the fucking forward where it's just like, oh, BT dubs, Pangaea.
Yeah, plus it flies, dude.
This is post-flood. There was no continental mega shift.
I mean, I have to consult.
It was in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, dude, the cooler books of the Bible.
It's in the director's cut, bro.
The Snyder Cut Bible?
Now, there's one more catch to the Ropen that I would like you both to hear about. So, after the boys, the old, 6,000-year-old Earth motherfuckers went down to Papua New Guinea and, like, rustled up all the locals and tried to find these lizards, they came back to North America, and the number of pterosaur sightings in the Pacific Northwest just fucking shot up into the sky.
Oh, of course.
Just started rising exponentially, and it like became this infested story that maybe they came back with them, maybe like the expedition somehow accidentally released these beasts into North America. But now the glowing lights and the large bat-like or pterosaur-type creatures can now be seen in the western United States.
Well, damn.
There is a story. I'm going to try and find it for you. There it is, though. You put it in the Discord. You can see that picture of the Civil War guys who shot down the pterosaur.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
real.
That's real.
That's a part of this story. That's like some of the shit that these guys were going off of, and they said, "See, it's the Bible beast right there."
Ropen
That's him,
followed
Bible
them back.
beast.
And Robert E. Lee killed him.
The dynamic duo of Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson hunting biblical creatures.
Hunting down the homunculi. That's a good one. Nice little interesting cryptid. You know, Christian's always here to keep us in check, you know? I'm like, I'm going to talk about some wacky fucking dude shoving rocks in his fucking cow's eyes so that he can, like, give birth to a tiny little Lego man. And fucking Ryan's out here talking about, like, oh yeah, this Russian defector was telling us about Putin's giant squid army that's able to lob a nuke farther than a fucking IBCM. And Christian's like, look at this actual cryptid.
Me and Dan, me and you, we like to have fun on the show.
I'm here to be a schizo, okay?
Schizo moments, talking about fucking cow UFOs and farts and stuff, man. It's wild over here in Mad Tower. Is everything okay, Christian?
No, it's all good. I'm reveling. And maybe if you're listening, you can see why I maybe don't want to get on camera and talk about which werewolf you want to fuck or not.
He'll be there. Don't worry about it, guys.
On God, you will not find me. Maybe in the editing room, but not on
I use
tape.
my deepfake technology.
Yeah. We're gonna deep fake you onto the werewolf.
No.
I will not be taking part in that.
We're gonna make it sing the Fortnite song. It's called Chug Jug with You.
Tomato
Yeah.
Town.
We're gonna have Christian doing that on like a permanent loop up in the corner right next to mine and Ryan's face cam.
You know how it's official Mad Tower policy to not buy a book to research
Yes.
any of these topics?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the fence about this one because one of the dudes who led the expedition actually wrote a book called Searching for the Ropens.
That's kind of cool.
And like it's crack job shit.
Really?
Like to sort of nudge the policy in a specific direction, I don't want to buy like an actual like well thought out like research text, but if it's the ramblings of a psychopath, I kind of want that.
Can we do like an audiobook of it?
I mean, we already broke the fucking the
Book
policy.
by rule.
I bought you Pick-a-Tricks for Christmas.
That was different. That was like a present. That was like a
It's a
fun, like
gift
among
that I
friends.
exploited for content.
It's true. It is true. Fuck it, man. Buy the book. Report back.
I mean, I didn't go into it, but this book and the sort of press that the expedition caused led to like 1,400 sightings of a pterosaur in the United States.
Jeez.
And it was almost cataloged as like a mental health crisis.
That kind of reminds me of what's
Mass
it called?
hysteria.
That story about like in Italy where people were like, "Oh yeah, it's happening now," like, and then they started like seeing it and stuff like that.
It's almost exactly like that. Like if one person gets enough hype around a sighting, it explodes.
Jeez.
Or maybe the
Or-
Ropen was hiding on the ship and followed them home.
Or like Jurassic Park 2, they accidentally brought the dinosaur to the mainland. Yeah, maybe
Exactly.
you're right. I'm done. Ropen sucks. He's a shitter cryptid.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, Ropen
Segment's
sucks.
over.
Bro, Ropen's better than like Russia squid
I like Russia Squid.
Russia Squid was cool.
I
You
don't
just
know,
gotta,
man.
you just gotta find the cracked out shit, Christian. Start talking about homunculi. You know?
Sometimes, like, they can't all be marble hornets. They can't always have, like, 6 hours of prep to them. Sometimes you find a shitty little lizard, and you gotta, like, make a story about it, and you sort of fashion that.
I did that. I did that with the Kuwak.
We start embellishing, adding our own to the,
And then I
adding
start
bits of our own
lying.
stuff to the legend.
Eventually, I'm
Exactly.
gonna just be out here making up cryptids.
That'll be fun.
I-
We'll make like a cryptid generator program.
There's room in this show for just, falsehoods.
Yeah. Don't be surprised, audience, when one day we're behind this mic just lying to you.
And
Surely
you'll be none the wiser because we could say that shit with conviction.
it's never happened in these 38 episodes. I have not told one singular falsehood.
No, never. Well, folks, I think that's about going to wrap it up for us today. Expect more episodes. Expect, just more shit on the channel because my time's about to free up exponentially. And I'm canceling Ryan and Christian on Twitter, so their time is about to free up exponentially too.
Oh no.
Oh, so that's what all those notifications are. Okay.
If you want to tell us your ghost story, you can find us at supermadtower@gmail.com. Email us. We're on Twitter and Instagram at MadTowerRadio. Comment on this video, DM us, whatever. Just get a hold of us, tell us your story, and we'll tell it on the show. Make sure you subscribe, and if you're listening on Spotify, rate us 5 stars, please, if we've earned it. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode of Mad Tower Radio. This has been Mad Tower Radio, ending transmission.
A frequency beyond space and time.
Unspeakable knowledge. It is Mad Tower Radio.
He didn't ask me if I had anything to say. I didn't, but he didn't ask. I was actually going to say, hey, if you're one of the 10 people that listens, thanks.